In this video, I'll be doing a deep dive into edamame and the amazing benefits that they could contribute to your heart health and overall health. Hi, I'm Chung, an accredited nutritionist with a master's in nutritional sciences, here to share with you practical and science-backed nutrition to help you lower your cholesterol and improve your heart health. Before we explore the heart health benefits, let's discuss what is edamame. Edamames are basically immature soybeans that are harvested while still green and tender. If allowed to further mature and dry, we would then get the yellow soybeans that we would use to make other soy foods like soy milk, tofu, and tempeh. For my fellow nerds out there, the Japanese kanji characters for edamame is 枝豆, which literally means beans on branches, which some say came from the way that they were sold, which was with the stems. While in Chinese, we call them 毛豆 or furry beans, referring to the fuzzy pods that the beans come in. Edamame is really the most natural soy food we could obtain, since they come straight off the plant, and the only thing we need to do is to lightly boil them for a few minutes and they are ready to be served. What kind of nutrition can we find in this most natural of soy foods? 100 grams of shelled edamame contains only 121 calories, while providing 11.9 grams of high-quality protein, as well as 5.2 grams of fiber. To put that into perspective, that's the same amount of protein in 2 large eggs and about 20% of your daily fiber requirement in just one serving. Edamame is also a great source of various B vitamins and many minerals, being a particularly excellent source of folate or vitamin B9, providing up to 78% of the daily requirement. It's also a great source of vitamin K, copper, iron, manganese, and phosphorus. In addition, 100 grams of edamame contains lots of healthy fats and gives you 23% of what you might need in a day for omega-3s. Before I get to the heart health benefits of edamame, if you're enjoying this video so far, help me hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons and turn on the notifications. You could also check out this other video where I compared the benefits of tofu versus tempeh, two other nutritious soy foods. How has the consumption of soy foods, including edamame, been associated with positive heart health outcomes? First, soy foods form one of the pillars of the portfolio diet that's scientifically proven to lower cholesterol levels by up to 30% when followed consistently. This meta-analysis of 35 randomized controlled trials showed that an average intake of 30 grams per day of soy protein from natural soy foods resulted in a reduction in LDL cholesterol of 11 milligrams per deciliter or 6% from baseline. How could you obtain 30 grams of soy protein? 100 grams of edamame would already provide 11.9 grams of protein, so you could simply add on 150 grams of firm tofu for your other meal, plus 1 cup of soy milk, maybe for breakfast. Second, soy foods including edamame have a superpower in the form of amazing antioxidants called isoflavones. 100 grams of edamame contains 49 milligrams of isoflavones, which is almost double the minimum recommended amount of 25 milligrams per day. Studies have found that soy isoflavones can improve endothelial function, which is just a fancy way of saying how well your blood vessels work. Better endothelial function is well associated with lower blood pressure, as well as a lower risk of plaque buildup in your arteries, both of which are crucial factors that affect the risk of having a heart attack or a stroke. I've actually made a deep dive video into isoflavones that you could watch here, and I'll also drop a link in the description. Third, research has shown that natural soy foods could significantly reduce C-reactive protein, or CRP, by 9% from baseline. CRP is a key marker of chronic inflammation in the body, and a lower CRP level is associated with a lower risk of cardiovascular events. In fact, studies on Asian countries, including China and Japan, showed that highest versus lowest intake of soy was associated with a 23% lower risk of developing or dying from a heart attack or stroke. This outcome is likely due to the combined effects from the fiber and isoflavones in soy foods like edamame, as well as the substitution of animal proteins for soy proteins. Before I get to some tips on using edamame in your routines, if you've been struggling with high cholesterol and stuck on how to improve your heart health, that's what I help my clients with on a daily basis. If that's your goal as well, click on the link in the description and sign up for a free strategy session. You could also help me by sharing this video with someone whom you think would benefit from more natural soy foods in their diet. Edamame is super easy to include into your routine. Most of the options in the supermarkets come in the pots. Some are pre-cooked while others are not, so do make sure to read the labels carefully before you buy and prepare them. I'm all for the pre-cooked versions since it makes it that much easier to use them in your meals. If they are not pre-cooked, then simply follow the instructions on the packaging and either steam, boil, or microwave them for a few minutes. If the edamame comes in a pot, you could enjoy them as a snack by eating them straight out of the pot, just like you would do at most Japanese restaurants. But I usually like to shell them so that there's more flexibility in terms of usage. When shelled, they could go into my grains or into any stir fry I might be making. One tip is to defrost the pots after you buy them, shell them, pat dry, and then pop the shelled edamame back into the freezer. Therefore, a better option is obviously to find shelled edamame. Strangely, these are not readily available, but I have found 1 kilo bags of shelled edamame on some online platforms, and I'll drop a link in the description for those who might be interested. One more tip. If you're adding pre-cooked edamame to your grains in the rice cooker, add them only at the end when your grains are ready, and you can mix in the edamame as you fluff up the grains. If you add the edamame at the beginning, they're going to turn brown and kind of squishy and not very appetizing. Those are some easy ways to enjoy edamame at home, but one concern I often hear from clients is whether soy foods like edamame are suitable if you have high uric acid. I'll address that next, but since you've made it this far, help me by sharing in the comments. Do you prefer your edamame shelled or directly from the pots? Should you avoid soy foods like edamame if you have high uric acid? The short answer is no. Research shows that higher intakes of soy foods, especially with lower intakes of animal protein and seafood, are associated with lower risks of developing gout. I've actually made a full video on this that you could check out here, or you could also check out these other videos where I explain how you could use various foods to reduce your risk of cardiovascular disease. See you in the next one.